live.
Oh my god!
I'm a prodigy with this whole YouTube thing. I make the lives go.
You're showing on more lower Dexian then if you're making things go.
Well, they're both really great, so it's fine. Hi, guys.
Hello, greetings. Greetings. Welcome to the next in our selection of lives about the shows.
Dan Ben says, are you counting Murf as 1 or 2 super chats because he evolves? Well, as usual, I mean, Dal, if you select Dal, we'll talk about the first season Dal and then move to the second because the characters change. So, of course, will be different versions of Murf.
Unless you specifically clarify a version you want.
Yes.
But, you know, if you just say the name of the character, we assume in the first one, because you're right, arguably, I mean, so obviously, started Prodigy, 2 seasons, split up into several sort of arcs, and especially between season 1 and 2, there's a time jump, characters evolve, you know, Cadet Dahl is different to Mos Eisley, Cantina, however, Skull and Villainy Dahl in the first episode. So there's a little bit of evolution there. But I do think it's fair to say they all stay on their path for enough time to judge them. Don't know if any characters, except Gwen, from first 2 and everything else, doesn't have particularly a change. Evolution, yes, but like a shift, right? Everyone kind of stays on a course that you can relate to. Unless, like, technically, you know, Evil Janeway in her, like, 3 scenes. That, of course, would be a distinct version for a short amount of time. Which, of course, you guys are in total control if you want us to put those in. But how do people play the game, Stu, in case I've forgotten, since the many... I mean, have you done this year yet? Is this the first one this year? I don't remember. Maybe. Probably not.
Don't remember. It's been a while. Yeah, so you guys super chat in a character you want us to talk about. You can specify the specific version of that character, and we will discuss them, and rank them accordingly. And then you guys, of course, have the power to shift them up or down as you see fit with a $5 super chat. So, and yeah, there aren't a lot of characters in Prodigy because there's only 2 seasons. It's definitely a $5 super chat day.
And so it's funny, in the prep for this, trying to find, you know, thumbnails that are interesting, I realized how many characters there are. You know, obviously for TNG and TS we looked at very small characters, but there's a ton of minor characters that are interesting. You know, it's not such where anybody on the show team could just get away with hiring Jeff from the extras department, right? Every single character would be kind of curated, and therefore there's a certain flair, like the Kazon, like the Klingons, right? There's a bit more of they're all a bit more intentional. So there's definitely more characters. I don't know if perhaps more interesting characters in Strange New Worlds in the side characters, at least in terms of look, because they focus on the main crew, and then, you know, the shepherd guy, right? Versus things like the Klingon scientist in season 2, the Dahl's adopted mother, right? There's a few, you know, more interesting one-offs, I think.
Yeah.
See, I was quite pleased when I went through Project. Like, oh, actually, yeah, character-wise, they did a really good job. And how are we judging this, do you think? Because Prodigy's obviously different. How do we determine a good character?
Well,
how are you personally ranking, I suppose, is my question. I should probably clarify too.
They're all better than anything in Discovery or the bridge crew and such. So,
well, start with the last Stuart, then. You know,
they're whether they're memorable or not. How it's a good adaptation of a legacy character. Just interesting characters. Like, are they interesting? Do they bring something new to the table, kind of deal?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Because I think I think, like I said, people are a bit more intentional in this. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, and just like I say, how successful they were. I think that's a fair metric. Yeah. All right. So I will get sharing. You guys throw in some names, and you often guys skip the main cast entirely. Be welcome to include the main cast in this. No, I'm not saying you have to, but there is a main cast available that you can pick from. So I'll see you guys in a minute.
Which we never really get to because of you guys, but that's okay. Anyway, yes, so hit the like button, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell icon so you don't miss any lives from us or any edited content. We do a lot of content here, and we love doing it for you guys. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Don't forget to super chat in with your characters. Like I said, there's not that many in Prodigy because there's only 2 seasons. So definitely a $5 super chat, unfortunately, today. So if you can, please do so. We'd appreciate that. And yeah, select some characters. You can also help us by joining the channel. There's a join button down there on YouTube, or you can head on over to Patreon/Trekyards as another way to support us on a monthly basis. We appreciate all of that. Everything that you guys can do is amazing. And you guys are also all amazing. So please consider doing that to help us out. We appreciate you guys so much. Also, there are links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. Really great Trekyards merch in both, and just other stuff in general. Lots of sci-fi and really cool stuff that you can get. Either shirts or, shower curtains, socks, phone cases, mugs. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can get. So check out the links down below for the stores and take a look and see if there's anything that tickles your fancy. And if it tickles your fancy, put it in your cart and buy it. It's that simple. But yeah, so this will be an interesting discussion. Prodigy is probably hands down the best of the new Star Treks that have come out, followed very closely by Lower Decks. And it is animated. It is considered, quote-unquote, a kids series, but it's definitely one of the best, if not the best, of the new Treks. So it should be a lot of interesting things to talk about and discuss. And the character work is actually very well done.
And it's very much a kid show in the same way the old Disney shows were.
Yeah.
The movies, as in, it's really for everybody. It just happens to be classified as a kids show, etc. So yes, put in your people. And if I was to say to you though off the bat, who is the best written Prodigy character? Gut reaction.
Out of the main cast,
Anybody.
I know, I'm just saying, out of the main cast, I'd probably go with Dal, because honestly, Dal starts out being really annoying and just a typical kid that's trying to prove himself, and he actually grows quite a bit as a character. Gwendol is also really good. I can't remember the bad lady's name.
Essentia?
Yeah.
Because boy, do I know Prodigy a bit.
What's her moniker?
The Vindicator.
The Vindicator, yeah. She's also really good because we see her as like a Starfleet. I don't know, is she a Trill or is she a human?
She was a Trill. I mean, she wasn't a Trill, but she was a Trill.
Yeah. And then, turning into a totally different character.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, there's some interesting characters for sure. We also have a poll. In Prodigy, did you prefer Season 1, Hollow Janeway, or Season 2, Admiral Janeway?
Yeah.
Admiral.
As we dip back in. But yeah, lots of good characters, so let us know. All right, let's start with people saying things.
Ozzy joined the channel at the rank of Admiral because apparently there's a problem with his other account. So thank you again, Ozzy.
It absolutely makes all the difference, as you know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Sussy Guru 2000 throws in €5 and says the Cation kid that decapitates a robot. Ah, yes. Cat claws that can decapitate a robot.
Furballison. Yeah, and we comment on that. I mean, I'm not against the idea, but do I believe the idea? Yeah. Bit far-fetched. So yes, and this is a funny old one because a lot of people, as I'm getting the next super chat, people want it to return more and be a character. It's like, yeah, it's just nice, a nice gentle throwaway, element.
Well, we see this character quite a bit actually. It's first introduced, it's delivered to the facility or whatever, and then there's the uprising where it does its cat thing. And I think it is. We do see her again later.
Yeah, they're in the last episode of the season. Fit Rising says they're in that a decent, I mean, relatively decent chunk. But they're not in season 2 because those guys just go out and do. So
yeah, and it is cool to see Acacian again, and a younger one at that, so more of a kitten like. But I mean, you feel for the little guy. You really do. And I think that's really important because honestly, like I said, a lot of these characters, even this one, that's not a lot of screen time, I care more about than some of the bridge crew discovery, let's be honest.
Or even dialogue. Did they get any dialogue? I don't think they did. Because they're a cat. Fundamentally, I think that would sort of stop them from having a real character arc. And that's okay. But this is one of the perfect examples of...
They can't see the chart.
Oh. I was doing the thumbnail. I was doing the next one. Yes. Perfect example of the showrunners saying, "Oh, we'll just use the canon. This could be anything or invented." And to 90% of audience members, this is just a cat, right? And we are the exception, not the rule. Who knows stuff?
Yeah.
And it's just this big, whoa, that's fun, and that's what they did time after time after time. So that's the joy of it.
Is it ever clarified if it's a Acacian or is it a Kzinti? Because Kzintis are also cat-like. Don't really get an explanation for that, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's Acacian.
Yeah, I think the people said it was a Acacian, but I can't recall. But of course, character-wise, not much there. But didn't dislike, of course. So I guess D by the metric of not a lot going for it, but nothing negative. But a fun race. And a fun inclusion, and certainly a good scene in the first episode with Gwen, kind of how nice can you be for a slave owner, trader, miner, clone, blah, 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 blah. How nice can you be, you know?
Yeah, so for me, that character's probably a D. It's just, there's a lot better characters in Prodigy.
Yes, especially ones with dialogue.
Bad. This one's bad, but...
And Eggsy says, Kzinti have bat wing ears.
They do, yeah.
There you go. So good character ready to go.
So yeah, we'll put her at a D. Way to start out, I think. All right. Next up, we got Static Beard Chakotay. Super chats, make them go. I loved the Young Diviner season 2. So just the father.
Yeah, he's not the divine yet, is he? Yeah.
No.
Oh, what's his name? It's like Aurum, something like that.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
it brought a humanity to the character.
Iltherin.
Iltherin. Oh, there you go.
But at least I remember how to pronounce it. I can't remember the name, but I knew how to pronounce it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it definitely made you care more about the character because you saw what he was like before he was an asshole. Just a person, a dad that loved his daughter and would do anything for her. Like he definitely put, his life on the line a few times to help her out. So it was definitely deepened the character for me. And it was great to see that everybody comes from somewhere and something drastic happened to this character to make him become the diviner and just totally different kind of personalities. So honestly, it was great seeing it. And I liked the guy. I really did. Had no issues with him. Although with the diviner, he was not that great. So that's pretty good that they managed to work that in, if I'm honest. And yeah, we got to know him quite well. Yeah, I actually cared about what happened to him. That's good.
Yeah, he's a funny old one in that John Noble, great actor, great voice actor, really sold the part in both seasons. Excellent villain. I do think he was substantially less effective as a good guy, but that's not, the season wasn't about him in the same way the first one was, right? So obviously he's more of an honoured secondary to tertiary. Not a problem, right? But, yeah, it's so rewarding and sad to go from season 1, season 2. He's literally a scientist, but he's a stargazer. He's a science guy. Pardon me. He has a giant telescope, right? That's his thing. And world goes to fire. He has a resolve to go bad. Yeah, it's really an effective story. And yeah, like you said, I love what you said there. The this random girl comes up to him and says, "Hey, I'm your daughter from a parallel timeline." What? And he accepts her. It's really nice. Really nice. It's really gentle and yeah. Although they do a magic touch brain thing that kind of confirms. So he silences his way into agreeing. But yeah, really really nice lad. And given how he was literally the villain of season 1 and pretty darn, the fact that you're very content to have him help rebuild and whatever Solomon season 2 shows how successful he was as a good guy. So, but I think Divine is much more successful as a character. So I would put him significantly higher. My gut would be a mid B, because I think.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Don't have to explain this already. But yeah, mid B, strong but not right.
You brought up something that I've forgotten too. Yeah, he's legitimately a scientist. He's interested in stargazing. He's interested in astronomy. Yeah. And that all turns to shit when the Federation destroys his world essentially.
Yeah. And obviously, you hire John Noble, you got 2 seasons, you want to bring him for both, right? Of course. But yeah, give him a decent part in both and bring him back. Yeah. No, it's.
And it actually parallels Janeway, because Janeway was a scientist first and foremost before she became a captain, which was interesting. And then she, of course, met her dead father in the afterlife, and she kind of did the science thing to disprove that. It was interesting because you can see similarities between the characters, and not that Janeway would ever go full bad guy, but it was interesting to see the parallels.
Well, you say that. Have you seen Equinox?
Well, that's a good point.
I mean, she got you. We did see her getting pushed to the thin ice, So there is something to be said for bad Janeway, possibly. But yeah, I never thought that. That's a really good parallel. True, clear scientist gone bad. But obviously, from his perspective, he's trying to save everybody. There ain't no bad happening, and not just that, but it doesn't matter. Oh, I know that would matter. His taking prisoners. Anyway, but yeah, but strong B, and I remember how soft and nice he was in the discussions versus I am the diviner. Good vocal.
Yeah, well, John Noble, like you said, a fantastic actor, and top tier as far as actors go, I think. So.
And also, I never thought John Noble when listening. Right, he's so embodied, which I appreciate, because you can easily just sound like, you know what I mean, sound like the guy you can visualize. But I never, he really took the role.
Yeah. Well, guys, we have a poll up in Prodigy. Did you prefer season 1, Holo Janeway, or season 2, Admiral Janeway? And also, we have a goal.
Oh.
10 $5 super chats within the next hour.
Ah.
So, I mean, that's what we need to
play the game.
Exactly. You need $5 super chats to pick your characters. So, I mean, it should be easy to get. So, consider doing that. Also, make sure you hit the like button. We have 30 of you here, which is fantastic. 23 likes. That's also great. Let's try to get to 30 if you haven't hit like yet.
You know how it is, Stuart. You know how it is.
I do.
But yeah, lots of characters. How do they compare?
Yes.
As I'm finding more reference.
Eggsy says he was like Voldemort with dreads. Well, that was the diviner.
Yes.
Definitely a bad guy. Kind of had a similar look to Voldemort as well. So.
Gosh, I forgot how cool his armor was. When he's in certain lighting on his own ship, as I'm scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool vibe. But do you want to bring someone in while I get more people?
Sure,
I'll be ready to go.
This guy, the denobulan. I forget his name.
The wrong rank pips. They just said, he didn't dress himself properly, so he has 2 pips. It's like,
He's all alone on this station. And honestly, it's quite interesting because he's got disheveled hair. He wasn't expecting anybody to show up necessarily. And trying. He's okay. First of all, it's cool to see a denobulan in Starfleet. Second of all, he definitely is a very welcoming. I think not only because he's alone.
Baroness Frex.
Baroness Frex. There you go. Cool name too. He's very likable. He's kind of all over the place, but I mean, that's one of the things about being by yourself on a station. You go a little bit eccentric. I don't want to say crazy.
No, he's just be eccentric.
But it was cool to see that, you know, actually there's a lot going on with the character, and the fact that when the station recognizes Dal is like, oh, this is an important thing, he gets a little bit, I want to say nervous, but he does his job the best he can, I guess. I feel bad for the guy, and then he basically wants to escape and basically just kill the kids. Like they got the escape pod.
Like, if there's no evidence of their deaths, then no, fine.
Yeah, I guess. But no, it was a nice, interesting character that I didn't expect necessarily, but was great, and I'd like to see more of him. Hashtag justice for
Iggy Pop, whatever I said.
Whatever his name was.
Oh, thank you, Eggsy. Appreciate it.
Baroness Frex or whatever, yeah.
I do try. Yeah, this one, I mean, I remember very specifically this episode because the first episode of season 0.5 or season 2? No, because that was the time. It was the first part of the second batch of episodes. No, it was God damn it. It's the episode 11, so it's the third batch of the first season, which is the second batch of Now in Starfleet, which leads in. Yeah, that's what it was. And there's a long break. We finally got back to it, and it impressed us so much with straight to Starfleet. We're not pissing around. Great twist. Great uniform. So at the end of 10, we got Dauntless. There's Dauntless in this as well. We get Divine Resolution. We're pushing forward. It starts with the Avatar style Aqua mission using the jellyfish esque. Really fun episode. Although the ending, huge plot hole of, you know, jumping out, explosion, cat. It's just whatever is fine. But yeah, he was really impressive as a character because you vibed denobulan, which is hard to do because you only have flocks really, but also a bit weird. He was wearing a uniform. He's very small, I recall. Yeah, he was a really good shout out. And again, anyone, any race, any alien, any whatever, and just like, oh, that's a fun shout. Mm-hmm. Yeah, except like I said, they animated his pips wrong, which they, you know, did.
Yeah. Well, the overall look, the disheveled hair, the kind of wrinkly, more like not taking care of uniform because he's by himself. So
it's also weird that he's by himself.
Yes.
I mean, I know it's the edge of Federation space, but like, really? Not gonna have a single redundancy to have a single. I know the episode wouldn't work if there's more people, but it's like redundancy means Ahil was the only guy like alive. so yes. You know what I mean? It's like the only guy in the sector, literally. But I think you got some people around to. But I mean, I like this guy. I mean, I think we've now set the bar of like strong secondaries as the dad. So I guess I would vote he's C because he's that guy. But I mean, yeah, I would love to see him back again. I think he'd be a fun piece.
And Dan Ben says, "What species?" He's denobulan, same as Phlox.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So. But not the same, as in he does act differently. It wasn't a 1-for-1.
Yeah,
but he was a bit weird.
It could be have one of his wives and maybe two of his husbands on board the station.
Hell, that would have been fun. Exploring denobulan polygamy in a Prodigy kids episode. It's like, what? I can imagine if they're all holograms and he had like all of his different wives and husbands. And it's like, what? Yes, kids. He has 4 wives and he's wife number. Yeah, crazy. All right, guys, put in your things. Only works if you guys submit. So submit for more people. But I guess I'll throw because they have a few prepped, of course. But otherwise, guys, there'll be no to put in. So I'm going to put in a mild curveball. The human form or Trill form of the villain of season 2. Essentially, she was this character for all of the episode 11 to 20. So she was actually this character for a good amount of time. And definitely a satisfying second watch when you see she's being sort of a little bit a little bit off. But, you know, great look. Suits uniform really well. Because she's a hero character, she got a lot more uniform love. So one of the people I really referenced for our Prodigy uniform, which was like the liaison character Janeway, got her coffee, was always at briefings, that kind of thing. Yeah, just a very classic yeoman, but higher rank. I thought it was a... I didn't recognise the actress, who I know from The Good Place, and I believe she's bigger than just that. She's done some things, but a fun... I think she's English, but she did a different accent for this. I think she's American for this, if I recall.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because she's got quite a distinct English accent. Not like a normal English accent, quite a distinct one, but I like this Trill. I'm sad she was the villain.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because first watch through, she seems like a very dutiful Starfleet officer. Like you said, the right hand of the captain, basically a yeoman, but not. And a little bit of a brown noser, I guess. But then when you rewatch it, knowing the context, you get kind of sinister vibes off her a little bit. She's always got her nose in the business of what's going on. That's why she seems dutiful as a first watch, right? So, yeah, she definitely it was a surprise for her to become the Vindicator. Didn't see that coming, and I really enjoyed that twist. So. Yeah, how long was she in Starfleet for, though? I want to know the story.
I think they said it was between 2 to 4 years. My gut said 3. It was nowhere near as long as it should be, but she must have faked her way in because you can't do the academy, all that stuff before that. But given you've got a robot from the future that can transform, you can hack in and just make some records, right? I think it's fine. You can do that. Yeah, I mean she was good. I mean I liked her quite a bit. Like I said, I'm just kind of sad that she did not continue. And it's interesting because when she goes villain, she's only really villainous for a little bit of time, because in season 2 she's kind of noodled a bit. Like she does the plan, then goes home, then she's there.
Yeah.
Even though then she does the kidnapping, but like there's a certain she always feels more menacing in this form, knowing the in her brain she's doing all these clever plans. I don't know. I like season 1.
Yeah. I think ranking her, I want to say B for some reason, because she was more of a background character, a side character, always present, but not really a main point. Like first watch through, you kind of notice her, but you don't really think she's important.
We think she helps to make up the classic pantheon of we've got a Starfleet crew. Like, you want these sorts of buffet people to be part of the... No, I was actually thinking B as well, because she made a real impression, more so than Tarsus, which I believe is the name of the Andorian. But obviously, she's the villain, right? Like, it's a really nice structural element that she's so important, but still being background. But that comes across. So I think the performance was really good. And like you say, although you gotta wonder if there's actually a character that looked like this, and she stole her appearance.
Was she an ensign?
I don't remember. Probably.
I think she was. Yeah.
How do I spell Ascensia? Jesus.
ASCEN. ASCEN.
Nope. ASENCIA. Aliens.
Perfect.
Yes, ensign. Good job.
Yeah, we'll put her at B.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. She left an impression. Ha! Ha! Good phraseology. For the next super chat like that.
Get there in just a second. Just resizing this lady. Sizing her up. Perfect. All right. Static Beard Chakotay. $5. Super chats make them go. Oh, read that one already. Never mind. Sorry.
Hey, you got double shout out.
I was hoping we had more super chats there. Is what the problem was. Sassy Guru, 2,005 euros. Time Lord Wesley. When Will Wheaton rediscovered acting.
Oh. I mean, he has played Will Wheaton in other things for a while. He's actually been a character again, yeah. I'll resize that. Yes, Time Lord Wesley with the excellent jumper. shockingly works at a tasteless 80s jumper and a cool leather jacket. It works really well together. Yeah. Successful character, lots of good dialogue. Possibly a little bit too silly, but that's, he's a bit not broken, but a little bit crazy. It's a little bit, he's seen the multiverse and the insignificance of some, the importance of others. Yeah, pretty layered performance. Yeah.
It was great to see him back, for sure. This definitely didn't end, but it added to his character arc quite a bit. To know that this is what he turns into, which is basically the Star Trek version of Doctor Who. A little bit eccentric and I don't want to say crazy, a little bit eccentric and weird.
I said it. There is that little bit of...
Did.
Yeah,
you did. But yeah, even Aaron Waltke said he's a little unhinged after being by himself for a long time. So yeah, I think it was very well performed, very well done. Definitely makes me appreciate the Wesley character a lot more now. And it was great to see Will Wheaton back in a meaningful way. We did see him at the end of Picard season 2, but he just looked like he was in his street clothes. I wish he was more in kind of an outfit like this. But yeah, it's a good look. The beard, the mustache, the whole package just looks good. So, and yeah, the way he explains things and the chance he gets to visit his younger brother Jack at the end, spoilers, and see his mother again were nice little added touches that they didn't have to do, but were very welcomed for sure. So they definitely care about the characters, and this just makes me appreciate Wesley so much more. So kudos.
Yeah, there's so many unfortunate examples where future work with the character has hurt their legacy, either be it where they're going, which kind of slightly tarnishes where they are, or you add a part to their past, which then say, even though you can watch TNG or DS9, whatever, and not think of it, if you're actually a canon aficionado, you'll always know you've damaged that early part of their legacy, at least if that's how you feel. Right? It's the same thing with
hard.
There you go. Same thing with not exactly, but in the sense of in the show, with Bashir becoming an augment, obviously not intended from the start, nowhere is it inclined to hint at, and bam, he is. But now you watch everything he's done previously with an entirely different lens, knowing he's...
Yeah.
It just instantly changes the character, right? But that was an in-show thing. So this is a rare example of it actually massively improves the Wesley character. Because he's never great, he's sometimes good, he's there in Picard...
Is he though? Felt like a afterthought.
But he's there. But this gives him a really strong, middle bit. Yeah, it's fine. This bit of his life is good. He's positive. He's happy. He's doing things. He's kicking ass. He's who we know, but he's more. Yeah, it was a really strong, and also oh boy, comic fodder.
Yeah.
You could do a whole video game with Will reprising and doing taken around by the Traveller, like say the Doctor Who. So he's a really open character. And yeah, possibly too similar to the Doctor Who's. I guess David Tennant mostly. David Tennant and Matt Smith.
Yeah.
A sort of youngish, boyish vibe.
Yeah.
Bouncy for the sake of it. Yeah.
I also loved how he articulated what he was trying to say, but it was crazy and all over the place and very rapid fire. And he had to stop and slow down for a second to explain it to somebody else, because he used to being by himself, used to just thinking and doing, and when he has to explain it to somebody, it comes off a little bit odd, let's say.
I know the season was already pretty packed and weird in season 2, but he did say in his initial scene, which obviously was spoiled for us for various reasons, so it wasn't quite... it wasn't spoiled for you, it was spoiled for me.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah, which is interesting. But I remember he'd mentioned it in his original dialogue, and guys, super chat for the next person, 'cause I'd love to have some direction. He had said, "Have already had this conversation with you before." Implication that he's living with them out of order, and he's not the main character of the show, but it would have been really fun if they'd had him live the season non-linearly to our characters. So we see his first meeting with them later in the season, and then he phases between the eras and has the same conversation, but in two different parts of the season, and then back. Like, they could have played with that and see it from his point of view, because that would have been really fun. Oh gosh, what did I watch recently? I mean, have you seen Agatha All Along?
No, I haven't watched that one yet.
So spoilers, not big, minor spoilers for Agatha All Along. There's a character who sort of lives non-linearly. It's a little bit weird and vague. And there's a great bit of an episode, I won't be specifics, where they are living the episode out of order, but we're living it. It's not the most well edited because it's meant to be confusing to her, so we kind of live that through. But you see certain conversations happen in the wrong order, and it's fun because by the end you're like, oh, it feels really satisfying once you understand the hell, because they don't understand what's happening, because as they shift between different times, they're talking to other people as their future or past self, and they jump into a new conversation, and they're like, I hate you, but that was it's fun. So I could have done with that in this season.
Mm-hmm. Now my problem is I don't know whether to put him as S or A. I think I kind of want to put him at S just for the way he was written, and yes, it's very much Doctor Who, but the appreciation of of Wesley Crusher now is so much more improved every time I see Wesley Crusher show up in TNG.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
Yeah, so my instant gut reaction was a gentle A.
Mine too.
Okay, because I thought gimmick is the wrong word, but he is very much acting to the oddness of the character, and there's a layer he's working on. It's a really fun layer, but he doesn't necessarily go here or here, right? Versus a Darla or a Gwen that kind of have all these ranges. He stays wonderfully here, but it's not quite here or here. So I'm happy with a strong A. I think he's one of the stronger characters, especially for season 2. But I think there are some. There
are elements to the character that I would definitely consider an S. Like I said, as we talked about him, my thought went from A to S, and I was kind of hovering between the two, and I wasn't quite sure where to slot him. But yeah, you're absolutely right. He doesn't have quite the range or the character development of other characters within the series or season. I mean, it definitely does. There's a lot of character development for Wesley Crusher that we see in TNG, absolutely. But yeah, I think A is good.
Yeah, he's an S for successfulness of a previously not quite working character. And he's only in 14 of the 40. Of only 2 seasons.
It's a pretty big chunk, though, honestly. But yeah, I think I really enjoyed seeing him back. I didn't expect to either. Like when I first saw him, it was a nice surprise, and then just to see how much the character was involved and how pivotal he was to the season was amazing. So, yeah. Yeah,
I wish it was a surprise for me as well. But I sacrificed so we could build the Voyager A. I did it for the cause.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know who he was. I just guessed, given his face. Because in French, you can't tell who he is. But that's fine.
I disagree. I think it looks very much like Will Wheaton.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't necessarily have to be.
And you wouldn't think he'd come back in that way, so, yeah.
Yeah, like, it doesn't have to be. But I thought probably was, but... This is a clever... Alright, with no more fan submissions, I guess I will chuck in another possible...
Hold on, we got a Mark Lawrence suggestion. $10. Popping in from work. A little time to burn while imaging computers. Loved the Enterprisians, so I'm going to request the Doctor. Boons.
Oh.
The young female cadet. Hoorah.
Oh, look at you with the beautiful curveballs there. That's excellent. Love that.
All right. Well, as he's looking for those, I'm going to remind you guys to hit like.
Great.
And also to go vote in the poll. Yeah, Mark's always great. In multiple ways. So thank you, Mark, very much. Defo77X says, speaking of the Rocketeer. What? Maybe in the chat somewhere. I don't know. Oh, yeah. He looks like the Rocketeer, says Ozzy. Someone should suggest Okana. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, there's so many people in this show when you start breaking it down. Guys, maybe quick fire some $2. Like, we'd love to throw some people in to get some contrast. I mean, throw in some twos, perhaps $2. Get some people in the chat.
Won't help towards our goal. We need another 8 $5 super chats within the next 34 minutes. But I mean, that's a lot of time. People might be coming in late.
And we love the discussion.
Yeah. We're here to talk about what you guys want to talk about. So let us know, guys. Yeah. And it's a bonus thing. You get to support the channel as well and help us out. So we appreciate that.
Good times for all. Yeah, and of course, this episode is damn special because it actually brought a tear to my eye at the end. Genuine, unadulterated tear. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, the return of a TOS character, Ensign Garavik.
Well, I'm in the bridge, but yeah, sure. with the TOS uniform that changes between shots, it's like what?
Well, yes, but
although Mark, I love how you didn't put the people who were the most memorable in, as in like, because the Sulu and they're rather good impressions. Yes, the Doctor, who obviously does get more, you could argue, because Dahl is ill and he's working with him. So there is some scenes.
But I don't remember anything about this character.
No, I remember more.
Except that he was Bones.
Because I remember more Sulu and Kirk because they did the accents. I don't remember him doing the Bones accent. Not off my head, anyway. Maybe. I guess we have to do some.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and rewatch it. It's one of my. I think my favorite episode from season 1. I have a signed script from Aaron Waltke upstairs. But yeah, I mean, just I don't remember the character, and it's.
But I do remember they were all good.
Yes.
So I'm gonna give him a flat C because I think he was that every single one of them was good. I would probably no, I guess he's I guess it'd all be C probably just because they all had about the same level of development, but they were all really fun to watch and good.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say because the Kirk guy, he did a few more things, but again he's nowhere near Essentia or Dad. But great, I mean, great shouts. I mean, I think if you agree, C is very fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now we need Hura.
Yes, all right. I was waiting for you to put the other guy in. Yes. Now, she was the one that went looking for the shuttle, not known as a shuttle. I actually think it was a, dragon, so quite brave. And got ill, got treated, and then I believe she's the one who went up to the ship and helped. Actually, Hura.
Again, I hate to say this, but I don't remember much about her at all. So, Mark Lawrence says the Doctor knew that Starfleet tech and medical care was more advanced, but accepted it and did what he could with what he had, as Bones would do in that situation. Pair his patients with catgut, sew them up with catgut if he had to.
Yeah. I think a C is fair for both. I think they both. So I remember being genuinely worried and happy when she came back. So I think the context of everything they did with her was good. Yeah, I want to say C as well for her. Low C.
Okay.
But I remember there being something about her that was good, and yeah.
And guys, just so you know, right now with 27 of you here, we will be doing the Ships of Prodigy as well, but that won't be until Thursday. I won't be able to do it live tomorrow. So
he has a real life.
I do.
But always don't.
I apologize for that.
Oh.
But anyway, yes. So come back on Thursday for Ships. I mean, somebody mentioned the TOS shuttle. It was a great scene in this episode. That'll of course be an option that you can talk about, or we can talk about during that live. So.
I mean, I guess you haven't seen the thumbnail yet, but the thumbnail is filled with Federation starships, because actually there are many.
New ones, too.
Yes.
So yeah, you guys, you can super chat in $2 just to give us a character. We'd appreciate it.
Which Dan has done.
He has, yeah. Dan Ben, £5. Thank you, Dan.
The famous Dan
Murf
Ben.
season 1 and 2. Well, we'll go season 1.
Well, no, remember we said $2, so he gets 2.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, he plays. He knows the game. He was waiting. He was waiting. He jumped in there. Yeah.
That's another of his third super chats. Thank you.
God damn it, YouTube! You can't have 9
He
third
says-
super chats.
Favorite character on Star Trek Prodigy?
Man, Murph's a hard
yes.
one, isn't he? Just
Yeah.
he's such an interesting. He is a character. Wow. He is a character.
The slime worm.
Yeah.
Trying to remember what kind of slime worm though.
Not
Into the M, I think.
Yeah, not denobulan, whatever his name is. All right, so we've got 2 different Murphs. Classic season 1. I went straight to the end of 2. So spoiler, because it does show the evolution of the character from a worm to a happy-go-lucky Starfleet cadet. What?
We also see Aqua version of Murf. So
We do.
I mean, that's
We do.
another one you could mention.
I don't know if it would sky high. I don't know if it would score higher, but yes, you're very well said.
Very,
classic. That's funny.
very likable and marketable character. This guy. I wouldn't call him a worm necessarily in season 1, more like a blob, but he can swallow grenades. He can live in the vacuum of space. He's basically indestructible. I expected him to be able to like morph into other things, like other people. Never really happened. And then we see his evolution, of course, which is very bipedal and human-like. And I don't know if that's because he's been hanging out with the humans. That's what he chose. I don't know. But I kind of prefer season 1 Murf a lot more, just because he's a cute, lovable kind of pet almost, but also super helpful. And no dialogue. He's got his little own language. Yeah. Who Rock-Tahk can understand. It's kind of like Chewie and Han Solo. Han can understand everything Chewie
almost.
says. I don't know about you, but I prefer season 1 Murf. Like I said, season 2 Murf in a Starfleet uniform is cool, but a very useful guy to have around.
Except when they forget they can fight. Because, boy, there was an episode where they could have won the entire situation and they just didn't because they didn't want to fight. It's like, oh, and don't show them beating up a guy in a different episode with really epic moves. That's easy. Just saying. Yeah, Murph's a tricky one, like I say, because they're not a character in season 1. They're a thing. Not a bad thing, a good thing, but a thing. In season 2, they're actually more of a character. A lot more character, but the season's so much more dense with stuff that they don't have much time to explore it per se. But like I said, the Aqua version was great. Certainly the power set is pretty incredible. I mean, they basically it's fantastic, right? Stretch the limbs, punch, kick, punch, swallow a grenade, beam into space. But yes, I mean, I know we had a problem with this. One of the early season 2 episodes when Murf is a cadet-ish, and Janeway and the Voyager A crew are grilling them, and this really awkward scene of like they don't understand, and Murf's doing the whole explanation, and they're like, "Do you understand him?" "No, I don't." Well, how are they in Starfleet then? You have to have a translation matrix working, otherwise they would not be allowed to be a cadet on your ship. Sorry, end of story. That's ridiculous. So if they didn't know what they were saying, no. So anyway. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? 'Cause it's a really unique character because it doesn't need dialogue, right? It's like Mr. Bean. Doesn't need that to be successful.
I mean, and also he hit a chord with the fans. The plush Murfs are the thing. Like I said, very marketable character. Along the lines of Moopsy. I mean, maybe more dangerous.
Yeah. I think more loved because Moops is a one-off. Moopsy. Oh wait, I mean, Moopsy's the one that eats the bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a one. I mean, Murph's more than one-off. See, my gut says give them both a B, because I don't think you can give a non-dialogue character an A, because we learn nothing about them ostensibly. But I think B still feels good because they both do good in different ways.
Yeah.
Like second Murf has more going on, but first Murf has more memorable scenes. But that's because season 1's more memorable. So watch season 1 every week, not fucking 5 at a time, burn through it. Like, of course it's always memorable, right? We watch it in giant bulk. I don't know, what are you vibing? What are you thinking?
I think B is fair, don't think everybody's going to be super happy with B, but I
Well,
mean,
what were you going to say?
no, I was thinking B myself.
Okay.
But I really don't. I think people might be come in and go, "What the hell? Murf's awesome." But yeah, non-dialogue. I mean, there's only so far you can get with that.
And they got quite far. They did get quite far.
Yeah. But I mean, there's always the option to bump him up if you really feel that strongly about it. So.
But it's almost such that you need a third. Well, obviously you need third season in general, but to have it evolve one more time and have dialogue.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, very interesting shout.
Yes. Good call. Thank you, Dan. Next up, Classic for Real is here. Ooh, Classic. Did you send me a parcel? Because I think you had asked if I'd received it, and just confirm whether you sent me a parcel or not. Anyway, Classic for Real, $5. Voyager A bridge lady who got caught by the loom and therefore technically isn't canon. Oh, yeah, erased from existence.
Now,
and never existed.
Did
along
you...
with half of Voyager A's whole crew.
Now, do you remember which lady you were talking about? Because I remembered straight away.
No.
So, of course, Stuart, it's this lady.
Of course.
Now, the reason I say of course is because, of course, there she is at the end of the season.
Well, yeah, that's the problem with Prodigy. They use all the same character models.
That's the problem with Prodigy, because these are character models, exactly. So, I remembered her because they only have, like, 7 people in the show. So, what are you doing? It's the black lady. It's the one getting killed, Stuart.
Black lady?
Yes. The one that's getting killed in the scene. There you go.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Yeah, so there she is. Now, and everyone gets reused, right? So, literally erased from time and space without an ability to bring her back. There she is. In this season.
She never existed, Sam.
But she's in the crowd. She's there. And it is funny because they're dead. They're gone. They don't ever resolve that, do they? They don't change time. They don't reset anything. So she's gone from the universe. And there she is.
I mean, I'll give her a D just because I feel bad for her.
Who?
Exactly. And Classic for Real says yes. He confirmed they sent me a package. Well, I got the package. Thank you so much.
See.
Amazing. Well, it's upstairs. I could go get. I'll go get it. Hold on a second.
Okay.
It's worth seeing. So yeah, we'll give her. Well, you can resize her and put her in
Okay.
if you want. I'll be right back.
Yes, guys, we want more people. So yes, back down to $2. Throw in some fun ideas. We would love to discuss more great people in the Prodigy universe, and there are plenty. A plethora. I did some prep for this, and we have Voyager A characters. They got the alien one-offs. We got a rather good set. Oh, I do like the set so far. Like it's what we said D, didn't we? Because they're erased from the universe. So yeah, the fact that you got to remember her to then put her in this is just, I guess, you made an impression. But yeah, definitely. I don't know. So Lower Decks, it works better with background extras because they're cheap and easy to animate. But able to have a couple of people added every season and they kind of evolve. But Prodigy also focused on the aliens that they only ever had maybe 6 interior models of people. Yeah, not that many. Hey, Data's got that is another great shout. If that is the Klingon I'm thinking of, as Stuart is finding something cool. Kruggang, yes. What a great. It's just that art design of that Klingon, just classic original Klingon. Talk about nailing an art design from day 2, day 1.
Sorry that took so long.
I'll get back.
Doc had to go outside for a minute. So, all right. So I got this mystery package, which I had to pay like $25 duty and customs on when it arrived. That's okay. And inside is a glass with Captain's pips, TNG. There's a TOS one with Captain's braids. And the one that surprised me the most, USS Foley. The picture of the ship. And then space.
Well, shit.
Yeah, surprised the shit out of me. The USS Foley, and then the ship.
That is intricate.
Yeah, so thank you, Classic, for
wow.
And they're big cups too.
I feel like
so.
The next Trekyards need to be filled with blue things.
Well, I mean, Ryan Coke would look really good in there because they're black. With the Coke, you'd see the ship really well. So, yeah.
Very, very cool.
So thank you.
Amazing.
Don't know how you got my address, but
stalked you.
Might have.
What?
Shoot me a message on Messenger so I can thank you properly.
Exactly.
Anyway.
All right, we got another one.
So Data's got $5. Dr. Kravang, a pretty good Klingon. Yes, a scientist Klingon, which you don't necessarily see very often, but also still a Klingon warrior through and through. Love the addition of the little monocle fake eye. I don't know what it is. It's very reminiscent.
Scanner.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
I don't know if does he have his regular eye underneath there, or is it like an implant?
I think we see a scene where he doesn't with it, take it off. I think we do. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he has both.
But no, it was great to see a scientist character, new Klingon bird of prey as well. It's good to see his lab. He's got a mission from Gowron. Was it? I think it was Gowron, or was it Martok? Anyway, I think it was Martok.
I think it was Martok.
I said that.
I think one was misheard that and said Gowron in the review, and I took it out because I realized it wasn't right.
Yeah. And he's dedicated to his mission to eradicate tribbles, or not eradicate. What is he planning to do?
I think he's trying to neuter them, isn't he? Neuter and stop their.
Yes.
Yeah, because if they can't spread, then they're fine, right?
Yeah. Because that's the problem, is the reproduction of them. That's the real issue. So, no, it was, like I said, it's great seeing a real Klingon as well. Definitely has a good look. I love his uniform. I love the little canisters he's got on his sash. And yeah, he's still very Klingon. He wants to shoot the big tribbles, and our team has to stop him essentially from. But he's not a bad guy. Don't get me wrong. He's just a Klingon. Very well done.
Yeah, I mean, he's really very, very good because he epitomizes that balance of what we want to see and yet something new and evolved. Because you believe him, but also I feel like I've extended the universe by including him as he is. And that is, I mean, you could argue just have a Klingon, obviously the look obviously helps. Throw the character model with a guy that's a bit gruff and give him science dialogue. But there's something about this guy that just owned the both in a way that the acting just kicked ass. I'm trying to think the middle bit of the episode, because they do or don't like work with Rock. I can't recall.
They do, yeah. It just reminded me I need to go back and watch Prodigy again.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And then, willingly, because they're not in Klingon space or even close, so this guy willingly went real far, and presumably a multi-month, if not longer mission, in a new bird of prey, which we looked at, which is great. Alone, to go do this for the Empire. I mean, so at the time, really good guy to do that.
That's the one issue I had, was the fact he was alone on the ship. I wish there was more Klingons that were helping him out, but
and a great look, classic look. Yeah, I mean, my gut was between S and an A, because it might sound a bit ridiculous potentially, but he was a very good Klingon, and we've never seen a Klingon scientist. So he actually did something new, yet classic, yet fresh, yet old, and I liked everything he did. Even his at the end, trying to sacrifice doing something really, I can't remember exactly, but something really drastic to win the scenario. Was it a bomb he tried to shoot? Or something specific?
Yeah, something like that. I don't think it's the only time we've seen a Klingon scientist. I think there's 1 or 2 times in TNG. I think the Chase had a scientist. Well, that was the captain.
Yeah, that wasn't.
Ross Dennis Bailey says we saw one in TNG Suspicions, I think. Crusher episode.
I don't. I think that was a Vulcan.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's just Klingon lady, which does make a slight difference in style. I don't know. I felt like he was, doing it very effectively.
I'm happy with an S for this character, honestly. He's one I'd like to see more of. I'd like to see him return at some point. And I know that Aaron Waltke is very proud of this character in particular. So.
Yeah, and it might sound silly, but yeah, he just did something a bit special. Yeah, cool. I like it.
Unless he gave us a new bird of prey.
Yeah, I am slightly biased, honestly, by adding the bird of prey love to it. It was pretty nice. It was pretty good.
And it was different than a standard bird of prey. Go watch our video on it.
It really was. Very nice.
Correct. Female Klingon scientist in TNG Suspicions. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, but she was a bit too gentle. This guy still had that hard edge of a Klingon of a Klingon guy.
Yeah.
You know.
I do. Hit like, guys, if you haven't already. Do you want to end this poll and I'll start a new one?
Oh, can do, yes. So the question was, with 35 votes, in Prodigy did you prefer, and I'm kind of surprised, honestly, smash hit success, Admiral Janeway in Season 2 with 71%, with 29% like in Season 1, which is interesting, I think, because first season it was very much the caretaker friend, and Season 2 is very much the, I'm the Admiral, do what I say, I'm going to find you. So, yeah,
I mean, it's a character we know and love, just evolved. Where the hologram is like a fresh slate, right? So I get it.
I just assume that people would be sort of suckered in by the fact that you're meant to sort of love classic, like really love and feel for Admiral Janeway, versus for classic Janeway, hologram Janeway. Jesus Christ. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
In mind, when I do this poll, I only have 4 slots for options, so
therefore you're wrong, and you should put more on.
Sure.
Somehow. That's how that works. Yes, guys. Who else to talk about? We've got a few on the board, but we'd love to see some more options to kind of. There's interesting people we can talk about. There's interesting people we can talk about for sure. Shall I throw in another quick one before someone of you forces our hand in a good way?
Yes.
Let's add in Tarsus. Mr. Andorian, second in command of Voyager, originally first officer of the Protostar, then left.
Yes.
Obviously, and then was Janeway's helper on the Protostar, and then Janeway's helper on the Voyager A. So pretty storied career of accidental. I need to be on this, and this ship. So quite a varied.
Yeah.
Varied set. Your thoughts?
Not a bad account. He says, is there a buy-in? No, like a $2 super chat, dude. Just rapid fire some $2.
Yes, we'd like to
for characters. We want to talk about the characters you want you guys
yes.
to talk about. So, yes, Tarsus. I loved his attitude. I say that because I didn't like his attitude at first. He came across as very cold, very calculating, very, very on point for his job. Later, we learn a little bit more about him, and I love the voice actor that they used for him. It was great. We got to learn a little bit more about Andorians as well, with the whole Wall of Heroes or whatever it was called, which we heard about in Enterprise, but still. And Tarsus, such a cool name as well. I really like this character and would like to learn more about him. He comes across as very kind of harsh at first, but he definitely grows on you, and you realize that there's more to him than just his officer face. He kind of, when season 2, we get to know him a little bit better, and he definitely cares about the people under his command, or just being a Starfleet officer in general. He does a really good job. So, yeah, I like Tarsus. Definitely a character I needed to know more about.
Yeah, he's definitely. We like standard Starfleet officers. That might sound silly, but you have to be sort of best of the best. You have to be all the nice things that you want to watch from Starfleet officers. And yet, of course, they want to be more diverse characters. So he's a bit harder edge than some of those officers, saying the average Voyager, Kim or Paris, at least in an average episode, right? But yes, he bravely, foolishly takes down 2 people in the away team to the most important planet ever and gets one of them erased from the universe. But then he does get messed up and he loses, and he gets aged and has to be recovered. But the fact is, an Andorian's memorable, always memorable. He's a great voice, bit weird. Can't even visualize who the voice actor is because he's so interesting. But to be commander of Prostar, which is an important test mission, who was, they were going to go out and do some big things. That's a pretty meaningful role to have. And then Dauntless and Voyager, of course, secondary roles. But, he must have been a pretty qualified officer to get these sorts of big, high-flying roles. But obviously not human, so you get a little bit of the arrogance is the wrong word, but attitude?
I like arrogance.
Yeah.
Applies a little bit, but...
But also, he's probably like a 50-year-old Andorian commander who's earned his place. I mean, Riker's arrogant as well. Commanders are kind of allowed to be. They've earned their place as the role. Can't say we learned...
Are you saying something, Commander Calkins?
What?
Are you saying something about...
What?
Are you arrogant?
What?
Sir?
What? Yes. I would, but obviously...
Sam's going to die now. There we go. He's back now.
But obviously we didn't learn much about him specifically, but the performance is strong. I would say mid-B. He got twice as much of Essentia, the humanoid. But he didn't have any, apart from that one time he got aged. He was never a hero moment guy, but he was a dutiful second in command. So I would vote a B, but sort of the middle to lower B.
Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, definitely a character I could spend more time with and be happy with it.
Yeah, well, he's the sort of character that there's a core that's working, and if you gave him a full episode to kind of own it and push forward, you would be like, yes, okay, he's developed. So yeah, a lot of potential with this guy if they ever bring him back, which is a confusing and hard thing to do. But you never know. You never know.
Classic crew. Whoa, that's some strong pug noises. Yes, Lola just came in from outside and wanted to tell me that she missed me apparently. So.
Oh.
Ozzy says S for him. Well, you can bump him up, Ozzy.
Yes, you all know the rules.
Yeah.
Hasn't been enough for that. But yeah, pretty good.
And a new poll is up with 6 votes so far, but it's favorite Prodigy main character: Dal, Gwen, Rock-Tahk, or Jankum Pog. Okay. I'm interested, and so far the results are pretty interesting. But only 6 votes, so go vote in the poll and hit like if you haven't hit like yet. Yeah.
I agree with that. Right, do you want to bring someone in if there's no more super chats at the moment?
Okay, let's see. All right. How about Dal's adoptive mother, Ferengi lady?
Yep. Should probably find a name, shouldn't I?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I just can't. Anyway, interesting.
Nandi.
Sorry, what?
Nandi.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't have said Nandi, but okay. Okay, fine.
Gives Moogie vibes a little bit at first, and then kind of has a little bit of a darker turn. And definitely Ferengi-like, trying to get the best deal, backstabbing people. Definitely works for Ferengi. You can definitely see this one being one that would show up in Deep Space Nine to make dealings with Quark, or be Brunt's wife. She kind of has that vibe going on. A little bit duplicitous at times, but can be very likable when she needs to be. And let's be honest, we're super happy to see a Ferengi Marauder return, and it's so accurate of a Ferengi Marauder as well. Yeah, so it's quite a twist, actually. That was Dal's adopted mother, or surrogate mother.
Yeah, doctor's fine. And this is such a. So let's rather start with the denobulan guy. Could be anybody. And if you were in the writers' room, if you picture this, they're doing episode, I think it was 7, something like that, or 6, and they say, right, okay, want Dal's adopted mother, what race should it be? Saying Ferengis adds such weird connotations, as in like society-wise, but it's handled really well. Confusing, because you're wondering, you want to know more, but it's like, okay, this is interesting. And it certainly explains Dal's initial brattiness, because Ferengi is such an unusual vibe, and if you've grown up with that, it's going to give you an unusual vibe, right? So it's a really, really interesting choice, but she's not quite as the Ferengi Brunt, like the classic. She's not as mean as a Ferengi, one of the mean ones, but she's sly in a different way. So it's also a fun interpretation, because it has to be something slightly softer, but still got all the lobes of business, as it were. So of course, throwing your son to the wolves of the Diviner for a reward, bit of a dick move.
Well, you had mentioned Dal's brattiness, but it was more of a selfishness. You definitely see Dal being a little bit selfish in season 1 a lot of times, and that definitely would come across from a Ferengi.
That's fair.
They're all about themselves, right?
That's very fair. Yeah, I think she was definitely one of the best modern day Ferengis, but then I was thinking, how many modern day Ferengis have we had?
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Is she the best Ferengi since Enterprise?
Well, she's a female that wears clothes.
So. Oh, worst.
Bucking the trend.
F. Yeah. F. Stuart, she's sacrilegious. No, she's really good. I think that was a really inspired episode early on to have the beautiful visuals of the alien race. The Marauder was gorgeous. The interior was generic and boring, but that's fine. Don't know. Would you visualize a Ferengi room if you said, right? I don't know what style you'd think of, right?
We picture a dome somewhere.
You picture a dome somewhere.
Somewhere.
But the room itself, I'm not sure.
No, it was more of a cargo ship anyway. Because it was a cluttered cargo room, if I recall correctly.
But aren't they all, in theory?
Oh, exactly, yeah. Little people pets. Haha, your mother wears clothes.
I like that. Yeah, I'm in between A and a B, because I think the portrayal was so interesting that, like the Klingon chap, kind of subverted what we knew and yet did it so well. But only one episode compared to many of the other multi-episode, but they were really the star of the episode in terms of new. So what are you thinking?
I would say an A, personally, because you see two sides of her, which is very Ferengi. I love the way it was portrayed. So.
Yeah, I think maybe a lower A than, say,
yes, yeah,
Wesley,
so.
But yeah. And Ferengis are hard to do, right? Without being caricatures or so different. But yeah, good, excellent.
'All right. 16 votes on the poll, so if you haven't voted, there's half of you that haven't voted, so go vote and hit like it's 40 likes. Now, if 2 would be amazing. But keep the super chats coming. We want to talk about the characters you want to talk about. Because you always throw us curveballs, which we wouldn't necessarily expect. Yeah. All right. She's the best modern era Ferengi we've seen, aside from exactly 2 episodes of Lower Decks. She's also the only one. I kind of like the Ferengi guy in Lower Decks.
with the monocle.
And then he's like actually well
Oh,
spoken.
oh, thank you. Let's go with a unique one. Season 1 Drednok. The OG. The one that came from the past, or came from the future, and
Yeah.
he said that specific version.
Okay, I love Drednok for multiple reasons. He's a transformer, which is great. His voice, the modulated voice, is really good. He's just pure evil, essentially. I mean, he gets worse, but he's doing the diviner's will, and I like the character design. It's a really good, cool look, and it's not something you would expect to see in Star Trek.
Yes.
Being able to just transform into a huge gun.
And how many times was this amazing power used? Sure.
Once.
Twice.
Sadly. Twice?
Yeah, at the end of season 2. Yeah, it shoots the right. It's like, oh, yeah, you remembered you can do this again. That's useful. Yeah, then it's weirdly underused.
Okay. But yeah, and we see different iterations of the same droid design. We see the librarian in season 2 as well, which is not evil, but it's definitely a scary look, and it kind of invokes Terminator vibes mixed with some Transformer stuff. Like I said, the character design is really well done, and I would like to see more of this character, honestly. I mean, I did fight him in the game. Not him specifically. I think it was another one, but still.
And if you want to be pedantic, I also voice him in Prodigy Reckoning.
Yes. You are. Oh no, that's awful.
A very specific version of him. An ultra crazed one from the future. Because I said to myself, as soon as I wrote that, like, I want to voice the villain because I think that'd be fun. It's not something I can normally do. It's like, can I go different? And I got told off by people to not do the voice I was doing. I did a different voice instead, so I have 2 different voices that I've used for him. So yeah, I like this guy a lot. Obviously, I voice him. Really, really good look. Just really solid design. It is both a bit far away from Trek, but at the same time, something about it just kind of works in Trek way. Maybe not in Spider mode, but in this mode, like, you could make this on Voyager, right? It would suck. Oh, no. Actually, as a CG character, they could have made this in Voyager. Like, if you can make 8472, which is harder than this would have been, you could totally make this as like an alien of the week. You know, it would have been difficult, but you could have done this. So it feels, I like the fact he has a giant cape, which hides his endoskeleton, vibe. The multi-layer kind of feels like he's got a big neck guard, but kind of a uniform. It's kind of it's appropriate. And yeah, we see cause he takes the appearance of whatever he transforms into, or because there's it's where he's made out of. He has the design of, because this version is sort of grey and rusty. The librarians are clean white, gleaming. The Dauntless guy is orangey because that's what Dauntless is, which implies I don't know. And then the other one is a different colour. But yeah, really, really good. Just successful. I love the fact the mandibles are like doing their own thing, and yeah, it's fun to animate his face. And if you notice, he's got little eyebrows, because again in Prodigy I animate them, so shockingly emotive face.
Good henchman.
Yeah, and the fact that he can be 3D printed with a Pro Star, and then be inside a ship and vicious.
Yeah, definitely has a few iterations. I kind of want to give him an S, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I've seen something new to Star Trek, which is very cool. Seems a little bit indestructible.
Identification with some claws.
Yeah, but he comes back from that now, doesn't he?
No. Different versions. No. That's actually the death of the first one. We just see other versions.
Oh, sad.
Rip.
He gets his head cut off a few times.
He does. He does get killed a few times, yeah. See, I was thinking at least A, but that was more because I think the effect is succeeded. The voice, the acting, the look, the style, the danger. Is the most developed character? No. But vibe-wise, real success. Probably should have used the giant laser gun arms more.
Yes. Or other transformable features,
Well,
yes.
but then it could have been just complained about being a Transformers movie, show, etc.
Well, he's just like a shapeshifter.
It would have been cool. It would have been cool. I feel like I can't go to an S just because he's not a fully fleshed out character. Or mostly. But I'm on
There's
that
no
precipice.
flesh at all. It's,
But I'm right on that line, guys. I guess, guys, you vote now. I think we're agreed. One of the best characters in Prodigy, which is such a funny thing to say. But I think it's fair. A or an S. Vote now or super chat to cement.
Yeah. That's the vote in the chat. Whether you think he's an A or an S, or you like you said, somebody can super chat in and clench it with the first super chat. So I think both A and S are appropriate. So, but I kind of want to put him at S just because I really enjoyed seeing this character.
And again, I voiced the bastard. I've made him kill I made him kill James T. Kirk in episode 1 of Prodigy, right? And you don't know. I mean, no. Do you read the script? Have you read the whole script?
No.
No. He does some real mean stuff. He's such a dickhead. I love it. He's fun to voice because he's like, at least my version, he's got a lot of resentment built up from his life. You know, he ain't no henchman anymore.
He's gone full villain.
There's one particular scene he's talking to somebody. It's great. Because I shot it with the height difference in mind. So I shot the camera like this, go down on the actor. He's like, yes, I'm talking to you. It just looked really silly to film, but like, yes, because he's fucking 9 foot tall, right? It's just, yeah.
Yeah. We got 2 A's.
Vote now.
Or forever hold your vote.
But I think for this, I'm happy to include all the Drednoks together because I think they are meant to be kind of one big platform, you know?
Yeah.
Apart from the librarian, he'd be a little bit different, but he's not called Drednok, is he? He's the librarian. Only because you would assume he has tactical weapon arms, so Drednok is the weaponed up version. And
Militarized version.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. Although I did actually joke to Aaron Waltke once that I should bring back the librarian version and just be like, hello, I'm a good guy. And I was like, oh! Oh! Hello, do you want to know anything? Oh!
Can I teach you a lesson? Oh, wait a minute.
Well, that wouldn't be hard to animate, though. Just a big, giant delta. No face, just a delta. Ooh, ooh. I think we have an A, Stuart, because that's 3 A's of those that are saying. But
Fine.
But I get it. Now, guys, we've got half an hour left. Do you have some S's to throw us? Because, you know.
Or an F. Can somebody throw us an F?
Yes, I love that.
It might be difficult because Prodigy's pretty good with their characters, so. Would Bribble be considered an F?
Don't know. We want to know. We love to know. Etc. Etc.
And 40 likes, which is great. But if you haven't hit like yet, please consider doing so. Vote on the poll. We have 19 votes. I think we can get another 11. Would be amazing. So go vote on the poll. Interesting results, actually. Yes.
If you want to bring someone else in, and we love the curveballs, but yeah.
Oh, Classic Real says, actually, I changed my mind. Drednok is an S. Well, if you super chat in with an S, I'll lock him in at S for you. Right now, he's an A because you're outvoted. So,
yes. You guys know how it is.
All right, let's see. Who do I want to bring in? Since nobody's going to do it, because why would they? Rock-Tahk. Nobody brings in the main characters ever.
And they're all interesting debates. So is this the season 1 Rock-Tahk, I would assume?
Sure. So a little girl, essentially, and because of her size, everybody thinks she should be security. She should be the muscle, if you will. She doesn't want to do that, and she's not quite sure what she wants to do at this point. Eventually, she does go on to be a scientist and get into science, and I forget her specific.
Xenobiology.
Was it okay? Yeah. But no, I think it because it looks like a mean creature, and when you can't understand her at first, it's like we don't know what she's saying. Don't know. It's big and it's scary looking, and it's exactly the opposite of what she is. And she's a sweetheart. She loves Murf. Murf's like her sidekick. She can understand Murf, more or less, not all the time, but that's fine. And it's a good look. It's a good looking character as well, based on one of the I forget the name of the species now.
Did I ever know? I don't even know.
Yeah, it was been mentioned. The characters, the character in the Excalibur novels.
Yes. I remember that. It is a Brickar. Did know that.
Yes. But no, it's one of those don't let your first impression be, don't judge a book by its cover type deals. And she's an actual sweetheart. Really nice. I don't know what else to say about Rock-Tahk. It's just the first version. Because season 1 is when Time Amok happens, and she lives, I don't know how many years, probably 8 or something we figured, maybe more, to get the ship working.
Mm-hmm.
Learned a lot of science on her own, was by herself for a long time. So definitely a lot of character growth for this character. Season 2, yeah, you see a lot more of it. But I really like Rock-Tahk. Really do.
Yeah, definitely an example of a message, but done with a lot of heart. And that is nice. Great performance, with, of course, a character who is going to age out of it to voice the role. Yeah. Trying it now would not be the same. But, of course, that gives you a forced evolution point. The character's going to be, older later. And I don't even think I ever thought this, but yeah, giant character, tiny voice, there's no disconnect. Something about the way they're animated, it harnesses the youthful energy, which is just so damn special. And certainly, yeah, really interesting choice. I mean, boy, sort of breaks the Trek immersion a bit in the sense that you don't design Federation starships with 9 foot this pounds whatever person, so putting them in a uniform is like, well, comm badges was like, well, they're not the right, kind of all that stuff breaks. I mean, yes, sometimes they do struggle to fit through a turbo door, whatever, but if they're 2.5 times the size of a person, and that's the length of a door in Star Trek, ships aren't meant for them, and that's okay. So it kind of breaks immersion a little bit to see someone this ridiculous. ProStar is fine, bigger sets, it's all good. But yeah, a lot of heart. Season 1 Rock-Tahk, more interesting than Season 2 Rock-Tahk in that, as a maybe, question mark, because Season 2 they're all about not joining in for a bit. And then Yay Cadet. I'm trying to think what they did specifically in Season 2. I felt like Season 1 had more growth, development, and intrigue.
There's a lot more uncertainty in Season 1. Not sure what she wanted to do specifically. And got forced into the role of security at first. So, yeah, Season 2...
Exactly, because they were sidelined for a bit.
Yeah, they were sidelined.
And even at the end, did they solve anything at the end? Yes, they worked with Jack and Crusher. Hey, better using Discovery Bridge officers, but not quite as well done as say La'an. Like the secondary mains from Stranger Worlds. What are you thinking? Because a nice character, but the fact that we can't remember their Season 2 arc, apart from being cadet, is not a good sign. Versus
Wow.
Gwen and Dahl, very distinct, right?
This is season 1, though.
Is it? Oh, no, fair.
Probably an S, honestly. Just because it's a character that subverts expectations.
Okay.
And I love seeing her development and her getting a love for science and then trying to pick out of all the branches of science. So, yeah, I'd say maybe an S for Rock-Tahk.
Okay, I will agree to that on the condition that the later Rock-Tahk will be lower, because they're less just zazzy.
Sure.
Okay, because you're right. The journey and the acting, I wouldn't necessarily have thought S, just because Gwen and Dahl do more, but the fact that they were going for something and it works should be taken into account.
Mm-hmm.
We got a main cast. Okay.
Not in the right way, though. I mean, somebody needs to. What about Zero? I already forgot about Zero all of a sudden.
Yeah, and there's like 4 zeros. Classic Zero, better suit, white suit, alien Zero. A lot of zeros in that.
A lot of zeros together still only make a zero.
Yes.
All right, next up we got Classic for Real with $2. Thank you so much, Jack Crusher. Oh yes, baby Jack Crusher. Don't even know if we see. Do we see? Perfect. Jack Crusher can be an F. Classic for Real took up the gauntlet and beat the challenge.
And I remember seeing a mid shot of them in the shot, but no, I do it on the sideline. Yeah, there's just sounds of them. Now Beverly would get higher. Which Beverly is? 2 Beverlys. Yes, I would agree F because lol, because not actually in the scene even. But yes, that's a funny one. Good old Jack.
When I first read the super chat while we were talking earlier, I was like, "You idiot! He's not in." Oh wait a minute, he is.
Good job.
Ah.
Ah.
Still resizing things, and all of a sudden, boom! It's blocked. But...
Renee. Yes.
Odo. Classic for Real throws in.
Thank you, Odo.
Odo, and of course, yes, this is from Kobayashi Maru. Just clips from Deep Space Nine, obviously, but it was great seeing Odo. It was great seeing any of the legacies, especially in that episode. Another Aaron Waltke episode, and definitely one of the best of season 1. I wish there was better dialogue, because if I recall correctly, you can actually hear like the background sounds as well in 1 or 2 of the clips.
I remember more her being the issue, but her dialogue is 60 years old. That's fair.
Yeah. It doesn't do a whole lot. Go ahead.
Yes.
I don't have anything else right now.
See, I remember Odo fondly in this episode because, I mean, I've done this a couple of times for various things, trying to reuse stock footage, and working with the limitation is such an amazingly interesting experience because it is definitionally limiting, but we made it work. And so I remember loving 2 of the lines. He's so damn aggressive and loud. You know, he doesn't fit the way he's framing it. And you're right, there's like almost background because, of course, he was filmed with a microphone above him on a soundstage in the 90s in a scene that's, you know what I mean? To do that, to have the balls to do that sort of thing. But it's such an interesting, fun sidestep. It's just really fun. Versus Uhura's very gentle. Spock kind of worked in a way that's shocking. You heard the weird audio, and in fact you heard when he became old Spock. It's fine, but he worked really well. Odo was one that like is juxtapositionally like, ugh! But the boldness of, because he's like, well, okay, we'll all die then. I'll do it by myself, or like, you know, give up then I'll die. It's like, what are you on about? What? Yeah, I remember quite liking him. But I want to give him a C because I think it's really bold. amazing idea. And had, of course, Renee been alive, boy, they would have had a...
Yeah.
What a guy to bring back for a thing. Yeah, it would have been tremendous. But yeah, I think
Yeah, he's her.
I liked him better than Nichelle, just because I remember his dialogue was way more of a punt into the radical. I thought that was bold. He just disagrees with Dal about stuff, but it's like, but what?
Well, that's what Odo would do.
That's what he did. That's what his dialogue.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fair. And remember, you got Scotty, you got Crusher in that scene.
Real Crusher.
Yeah.
She's a glue that holds it together.
Next up is Dan Ben with 2 pounds. Magell.
And yes, guys, throw in 2s. We love 2s because they give us stuff to talk about. Yes, Magell. Your thoughts? I'll let you go jump in on this one.
Well, she reminds me a lot of T'Lyn. As like an addition, but better than T'Lyn because she gets more to do. Yeah, I didn't like her at first. I thought she was a little bit so stuck up, Thought she was better than the main cast, but that's part of the character. That's supposed to be what's going on.
I mean, she's a real ensign. They're not.
Yeah,
she got picked into the academy. They just stole ship and turned up one day.
Yeah,
fair.
The relationship with Zero was cool. I don't know. I like the way that her character kind of learned to like these new guys and kind of didn't forsake her own team, but kind of stood up for the kids a little bit and eventually did leave the team, I guess. She's also very capable as a fighter pilot.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about her. As much as she was in it, she wasn't in it enough. She's just like T'Lyn in that regard. So
I was about to say, yeah, she's always there from some onwards, but she's always just sort of helping the ensemble. The Zero thing was fine, but very quick, if I recall. She's very, would you say, more Romulan looking based on the hair?
Yeah.
But it's a great look. It's a bold look, but it works.
Yeah.
It works really well. You do kind of, we burned through it so quickly. I wish they'd done it slower. And then Vegas. But I remember thinking that it's weird she abandons her own team, but she senses these guys are sort of go-getters as well. So there's kind of a earned respect versus you're already ensigns, therefore respect is given, right? So that feels satisfying in its own way. But I feel like she was captured at the end. She was part of that subplot in that train, so she was out of it. And I can't think what she did in the final fight at all. I have no sense of what she did. Yeah. So not as much narrative presence, but good. Not amazing, but good.
A lot of potential for sure. If there's a third season, like definitely be a big part of that. Would hope. Like I said, a lot of T'Lyn going on. Great character introduced and then not really used as much, like to its fullest potential. So,
but was she even needed though? And not in a mean way. Just you've already got these strong core characters. They say in the narrative she is needed. That's an important thing. But like T'Lyn, right? She's an additive, but she's not necessary, which means that she can be sidelined easier. I don't know if she gets B. I think she might just not hit B for me.
I was thinking B personally, but I can see your point.
Because I like Tarsus more because his vibe. Is it also because his look is more memorable? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Her looks very memorable. I love that hair.
But it's also still just Vulcan. I guess he's also just Andorian. You see him less. Oh, what do you guys think? I'm torn. I like everyone in B better because I can remember what they did more. But she's in it more than any of them? Apart from Murf. I don't know. Where on the scale of C to B to A are you? Like, subdivide. Where more technically would you say?
I was thinking a low B.
Okay.
And now that you said Murf, I'm thinking she probably deserves a C. It's sad, but I mean, Murf is a very loved character and does a lot. She's a good character that doesn't do enough. And at one point, she just kind of is the love interest of Zero. That's kind of her whole point.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna skim the last episode and see what she does. I don't remember anything.
Yeah, please do. I'm just going to remind everybody, hit like. We have 45 likes. 50 would be an amazing number to get to before we end out. 21 votes on the poll. Again, I would like to get to 30, so another 9 votes. If you can go vote on the poll, that'd be amazing. Might even have time for another poll real quick before the end. But, yeah, I'm perfectly happy putting her a C based on what you discover in this last episode. Because, yeah, we've got a Dave Moon says C, Raj says high C or low B, so that doesn't help. Thanks, Raj. That's kind of where we were.
I mean, the last episode is a weird one anyway. I don't think she does anything in the last episode. Because I'm scrolling and she's there, like, sort of, but there's not really much narrative progression. As we know, it kind of messed up its own pacing right at the end. Episode 19, she is on the Voyager A. She doesn't beam down to the planet. She's helping the. Oh, I forgot she had a buzz cut.
Yeah,
I
didn't forget that.
She sort of sciences with the team. That's 19. She's right in between. Stuart, I'll let you decide with your gut because she's right in between for me. Let the choice flow through.
Looking at everybody and see, she deserves a B.
Okay. That contrast, man. That's why it's there. 100% that's why it's there.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
I don't feel bad about making that decision. So don't make me feel bad. I can tell by the look on your face you're disappointed with me.
I was looking at a Prodigy to find reference, but okay.
Sure. All right, classic for real, $2. Okay, Bev Crusher. Which one? The one from Kobayashi?
I mean, we'll go the real one. We'll go the real one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll. So yeah, a lovely cameo at the end with the grey hair. The scene is just hi sun. I mean, she's in cameos earlier as well, but she's just hi sun. Be good to see you sometime. And then he appears and it's like, oh my god, you finally visited me after 12 years. You dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a sweet scene. It's really nice to hear Gates. She did sound younger than Picard season 3, despite, I guess, probably filming it before, audio-wise. But, she did that really well. Don't know why she went grey. As in...
It was a choice.
It was a choice. Nice to see. I mean, added to the character. Gave us a nice canon point. But it was just a small scene. And did they ask about her other cameos? Is it about Crusher? Is it because they meet Crusher and they ask her about something else? I can't recall. Because it was really early in the season. Of 2.
Janeway contacts her because she ran into Wesley. Yeah. Which is all I expected to see of her, and then to see her at the end and actually get the introduction of Wesley to Jack, I thought was great. Because I was hoping at the end, I was like,
yeah.
I wonder if they're going to even mention Jack. And then, yeah, sure enough, they did. So,
I mean, talk about giant, lovely little retcon.
And this is kind of before she became an asshole and fucked off on Picard. I mean, she's already. Picard didn't know about Jack, but I don't know. In Picard season 3, she kind of comes across as a little bit of a bitch for taking off and doing her own thing. But
yeah, she's already fucked off at this point, but she's not quite isolation for years and years.
Yeah.
I mean, solid C. Nothing to complain about,
Yeah. I was going to suggest a C.
Absolutely.
Just because. Yeah, we know what happens before and after this, so this is just a nice little.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, it's icing on the cake, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, C it is for Crusher.
Respectable.
Yes.
And now we're in the last minute, last quick fire. If you guys want to throw in any more, like maybe the main cast, you're welcome to. Although maybe longer discussions, but or the diviner, or the villains, the heroes.
Well, we're not here yet. Don't be pulling this lady up yet.
Oh.
Classic for real says.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
$2. The Morn alien next to Magell.
Yes, you're right. Now I do recall.
Hold on a second.
Oh. I do recall he was a. I do recall he didn't say anything in good Morn tradition, but he gave looks. I do recall. Now, why is he bald? Well, I don't know. It's not the same reason as Morn, but... There he is. There's the chap. Well, Stuart's muted, but he'll be back at some point. So, guys,
Oh, sorry.
He's back.
Dot was having one of her seizures, so I had to make sure she was okay. So, anyway, what were you saying when I left? Because you were saying something and I didn't hear it.
The Morn guy. The non-talking Morn guy. Part of Red Squad. I think it's Red Squad.
He grumbled and he made sounds.
He had attitude.
He did. He's kind of a dick.
I do remember.
But he was also not always a dick.
Yes.
He kind of came around. So did the other guy in the team.
Yeah. We obviously comment on how Morn is bald for a specific reason, right? But obviously, that was only one episode of DS9. And up until that episode, did Michael Westmore assume the race was bald? And therefore that was actually a retcon by itself? Because, is everybody wrong because they ignored one episode? Or does everybody not remember the episode because everyone assumed he was bald from the start? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and bald is also a choice. This guy maybe thinks he looks better bald. Who knows?
Who needs poisoning?
Actually, since there's a little bit of a character development with this character, it kind of goes from a gruff asshole to helping out a little bit and kind of mellowing towards the main cast, I'd say there's a D.
Yes, okay. Phew, not C. You ain't quite at the C yet.
No, not anywhere near.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he's just as good as the cat.
Yeah.
Yes. And Raj says hi to the dog.
Yeah, I know. She's not looking so good, so hope she's okay.
And Melanie says some of the Prodigy characters like they're from Star Wars. Which ones in particular? I don't know if I would necessarily agree. I mean, Drednok, but he's General Grievous, right? It's kind of inspired, right?
Yeah.
We have 6 minutes left. Any quick fire last ones? We'd love to get another 3 5s would be great. If you can, please do.
Yes. All right. Next up, we've got Classic for Real $2 Quantum Mechanics Lecture Lady. Yes, I actually like her quite a bit. She's very friendly and perky, and she's a redhead, and she's cute, and she's actually based on a real physicist or whatever. Mm-hmm. Dr. Erin McDonald. Yes, thank you, Raj. A real astrophysicist. And voiced by her. Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. And she live streams. Yeah. I actually really liked Quantum Mechanics 101 or whatever the hell she taught. That it was a great little course. Mm-hmm. And need to see more of her. She's cute. I like her. That's what I'm trying to say.
That said...
Oh, here we go.
Okay, what am I going to say?
I have no idea.
Knowing me, Stuart.
You're going to poo-poo on her and make her a lower level than I would have.
That said, her uniform's wrong because the whole stripe is meant to be white, not blue. And that bugs me because in theory it means I have to make all my ones blue. It shouldn't be blue. It doesn't look good as blue. It looks silly because it looks like it's white being color graded blue. A darker blue, yeah, that was weird. And it's not correct for every uniform. I know she's a specialist, but she's not that much of a specialist. And also, her badge is too high, but that's just a common thing. They put on the black line, but it should be lower. No, she was great. You know, I feel like we've met her once at a convention, or I've seen her walk by or something. I don't know, maybe we have, maybe we haven't. Yeah, pleasant. I mean, it's a hard thing to science the science, and she did a good job. As a non-actor, she acted well. Probably just was herself, to be honest. Just fun, bouncy, and maybe the effects were a bit too gimmicky for a lecture presentation. But hey, they had a lot of fun making it, I'm sure. Yeah.
So C it is.
Yeah, C's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't mind to be taught by her, would you?
Not at all. She can teach me many things.
About thermodynamics and temporal mechanics, right? Those things.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Obviously.
Right. Final 3 minutes. Is there a final throw-in into the hat? So we've got some pretty interesting ones there. In fairness.
Oh, Ray Ricks, 5 pounds.
Oh.
The boyish rogue Okana.
Haha.
Ah, yes, the outrageous Okana.
And it's so lovely that they set the look that Lower Decks had to follow. Yeah. His eye. We'll do his eye in the grey, and then Prodigy has to follow it. Ha! Love it.
Comes across as a very likable rogue until he betrays the kids.
Just a bit.
And then he shows up in an alternate reality, scavenging a Federation ship.
Well, in fairness, it's still our reality when everything went poorly, so he has the same backstory with the kids, which does help.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I remember liking him showing up. It was great to see him again, and I was really upset when they just kind of fucked off on the kids. And it's like, oh, he'll be back. He'll like redeem himself. Nope.
Nope.
Good look to the character. That more grizzled kind of rugged look. The eye patch is a great addition, and the scar. I want to hear that story.
Yeah.
How that came about. But it was great to see him back, and again, voiced by William Campbell, I think is his name, Bill Campbell. Plays the Rocketeer, and yeah, could have been in it a bit more for me, but figured he might have become part of the regular rotation, like help them out occasionally. Thought he'd come in at the end when the big battle's happening to kind of save the day, or try to at least. So. Yeah, could have been used a bit more, but it was nice to see a character like that back.
Yeah, and it speaks to, again, the if you're looking at just the pantheon of who is what, it's like, you're gonna bring him back? Sure, okay, cool. Why not, right? So add something special. I don't know if I would recognize the voice, because he does sound so fresh in TNG, but how many years ago was that? I'm not going to complain about that, but I wouldn't have known either way if it was or wasn't him.
Yeah.
Right? But that's not a complaint, right? It just is what it is. Fun character, underused, but I need to see a billion times of him. No, that's okay.
Probably a C for me, still.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good episode he's in, and he does good in it. I wish the other version of him was a canon version, because obviously then it would add to it. Yeah, I'd say high C, but then, but the fact that he's not that much of a dick helps, because I like characters that can be more positive. Like, he's more than Odo, he's more than the Enterpriseians, he's probably, well, same level as the blue guy, the first guy, I would say. As in the blue uniform guy, the denobulan. Same-ish level. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any, well, we did have a lot to do in that episode. Okay, you know what? Low B. I think a low B is probably fair. because he has more to do than a lot of the other ones in C. So
there you go.
And he's also a returning character because he returns later, but not him, but still him. And it's fine.
There you go. I upgraded it very slightly. Wahahaha. He's right on that line again, right? Of being...
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then classic for real, $2. Hope I'm not too late for Jellico.
Oh, yes. I believe I had him already prepped in a different slide. Yes, I did. Another returning. And good for Ronnie Cox. He is not a young man anymore.
Aaron Waltke's here. He says they are all S tier.
Well, let me move.
Hi, Aaron.
Let me move Jelly. I did hope you're going to show up. So this is our current listing, Aaron, based on fan submissions. We did joke. I joked in the promotional that actually there's some generally very good characters overall. So it's about how they are to each other. And we thought the Klingon was an easy S. Rock-Tahk was a right between A and S. Wesley, Ferengi, and Drednok were all A, all pretty medium, and then everyone seems to go in B who's not an A. It seems, and then C is the one-offs, two-offs. D is the people that show up, and F is Jack Crusher, who didn't animate.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Aaron?
Well, it was great seeing Jellico back.
Yeah.
Hashtag Jellico didn't really do anything wrong.
4 shifts. Put her in uniform. It's all good.
Yeah, he just didn't really approach it the best way. I agree with a lot of his decisions, just not the delivery. But that being said, in that episode, those episodes, Riker was a whiny little bitch. So, moving on. No, it's great to see him as an admiral, and he's definitely a good authoritarian figure as far as an admiral would go. Is somebody you want to listen to because he's kind of got that badass edge. And again, would have liked to have seen more of him, although we did see more of him than I expected to as well. So,
yeah, I mean, he obviously comes with the legacy of TNG. Even though himself didn't necessarily do a billion things, the fact that he is still an officer, still this, still that, it's just so reassuring. He did a good job. He kept doing. He feels respected. I remember one of the lovely people saying at some point they picked him because he's a foil who can above Janeway,
outdo Janeway, yeah.
And you're gonna send straight for he's an above admiral, right? And not a mean way, he's got sort of power level.
Power level 9,000.
And Aaron says, I think that all fair assessments. Oh, thank you, Aaron,
Thank you,
executive producer and one of the lead writers as well. But I think for honing into the strong admiral who has a strong arm, a bloody famous admiral, but not in a dick way. And that's an important thing. He never did it in a mean way. He didn't go RoboCop, right? Him and RoboCop. So I always felt he was just doing his job as much as he could. So I would go very high C into B, I think, because he sold me. And like we said for Wesley, he improved the character for me by how he did it in this. So I would say right at that line, I'll let you pick.
For me, it's a low B.
There we go.
Jellico.
Beautifully. Okay, classic. That'll be okay. I'll find a picture. Jesus Christ. Panda.
Yeah, that'll be the last one, I think, to close out. It's a beautiful way to close out, actually.
It's not bad. But we have to be honest, Stu. We have to be honest once you say it, as I find a picture.
Classic for real, $2, especially since he's here. Aaron Waltke, S tier. Well, while you're looking for a picture, I'm going to close out this poll with 31 votes. We did hit our 30. Favorite Prodigy main character, the winner is no one, because it's a tie between Gwen and Rock-Tahk with 35% each. Next up is Dal with 16%.
Oh, okay.
And Jank and Pog at 13%.
That's really interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, lovable characters kind of win out. And Gwen is a compelling, compelling character.
So no more super chats, guys. That's where we're closing out.
Unless it's like a 50, then you're welcome to.
Sure, but I gotta go into care dot. So.
Oh yes. I'm trying to find a very specific picture of Aaron.
Jeez.
Well, as in with us.
No, classic. We explained who the baby in F tier is. Aaron's a smart dude. He'd figure it out.
He's a smart cookie. Okay, fine. While I find that, I'll do a lovely picture of him on a panel, looking interested out into the sea of adoring Prodigy fans. Because as you're in the panel, really lovely reaction that Prodigy got. Yeah, it was very, very nice to be part of that room.
Yes, indeed.
Looking
and such a cool Prodigy shirt as well.
Yeah, with a not quite finished art of people.
Gotta tighten it up on him though, so he doesn't.
Well, I'm doing my best here.
I know. But Aaron Waltke, definitely an amazing human being. It's a good friend to our channel. We really appreciate him. This is getting meta, yeah. And as we said at the time, the best episodes of season 1 were his scripts. Kobayashi Maru, All the World to Stage, and
that's what I was looking for.
Perfect. That's even better. Yeah, get rid of the other one. Get it out of here.
Well, that can go in the other thing.
He looks so unimpressed.
Well, he met us.
It's not the first time he met us.
Well, collectively, he's met us individually in different parts of the different countries.
That's true. And later this night we went on to do the live with wine tasting, the Star Trek wines,
which is a pure 57 minutes of joy. It's a really good live.
He's a good guy. So yeah, absolutely. Because of all the reasons I mentioned, he should at least be an S tier. He should be in the show. They should make a Captain Waltke. Model it after him.
And model after him, voice him. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's undoubtedly wrote the best 2 Prodigy episodes. That is an achievement by itself. Now in season 2, there are so many good stories, but they're also like DS9. They're continuing stories. So I don't know if any stand out in the same way season 1 does. And he has both of the top episodes in season 1. The battle's excellent as well, but just like the standalones. So at the very least, he has 2 in the top 5. And they're both excellent. And they're both fan service, but are being clever or being interesting. And he has the best short trek by a galactic mile.
Well, that's not a hard thing to do. Let's be
Sadly,
honest.
No. Yeah, he gets Trek in a very clever way, which is important.
He's one of us. He understands what we like, and he understands the canon, he understands the lore, and he knows what Star Trek fans would want to see.
But he intellectualizes it. He goes beyond. He takes it, as I've said many a time, to in general sense. He wants to treat it from a writer's perspective and not just a fan perspective. So you get that intelligent undercurrent that isn't just this, and this. Good story first, Star Trek second, but how can you integrate both? Whereas a lot of writers will do either this is a good story, the Star Trek is secondary, or this is a good Star Trek visually, but the story is limited. He managed to put both together, and it's very hard to do because you've got to have a really specific perspective, as in like a both overall and sub, and he nailed that really well.
Absolutely.
Boy, if he was feeling down, he's really had to pick me up today, didn't he? For morale, just raising.
And Ray Ricks is like, damn, I wanted that T-shirt. Yeah, Ray was there as well. Was Ray at the wine testing with us? Mark was, and Matt was. I think it was just Mark and Matt.
Yeah, I think Ray had a lot of life.
Yeah.
But he came later.
No drinking pits? It was Mark. Mark's chiming in.
Oh, you can all go find that. Easily accessible.
So yeah, easily an S tier for an amazing human being.
But again, just the writing quality. Just really... any writer that's that good I respect, and it is depressing he's not doing more Trek at the moment. But yeah, if you're looking for a quality writer, he definitely
I'll make the picture like 1,000 times better. There we go.
Oh,
we'll put him in S tier. We'll use the other picture because it's a very heroic looking pose.
Yeah, we're not bringing him down.
He says, I was going for cool and collected, LOL, in that picture. I'll bring Sam back in because, you know, it's only fair.
Thanks.
And he goes on to say, there is a Lieutenant Commander Waltke in Star Trek Adventures. I think I show up in one of the books too. Well, there you go. Perfect. All right, guys. I got to get going. So I appreciate all of you guys for showing up. 2 more likes would be awesome. Waltke, if you haven't hit like yet, please do. I'd like to get to 50.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. And
Indeed.
That was a perfect way to close out.
Yeah, I obviously hope to show up and see what we were discussing and weathering. Yeah, fun time to be had. Join us tomorrow for the ships of Prodigy. Aaron, if you want to be in a bit earlier tomorrow. Oh, not
Thursday.
So if you want to be, if you want to get a bit earlier on that time Thursday, Aaron, you can suggest some ships for us to look at. Because Prodigy some good ships. Some good ships.
So yeah, Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UK. We will be looking at the ships of Prodigy.
Yes.
So join us for that. No live tomorrow because I can't. So
he doth half the life. Yeah. Appreciate everybody.
Until then, he is Commander Cocking.
He's Captain Foley and Waltke, Admiral.